brings the 50 up for England.
There were 7 more runs added up to the close of play. England 58 for 3, with Gatting 16 and Gower 15. But 3 crushing blows there for England, with Gooch gone without scoring, playing across Alderman, Broad for 20 and Barnett for 3. And Alderman claiming 2 of the wickets and showing himself again to be a force in this Test match series. 8 overs, 2 maidens, 2 for 23 for him, Lawson 1 for 21, and just the 2 other bowlers used, Hughes 4 overs for 8 and Border 2 overs for 2. So England, well, if not looking down the barrel at the moment, they're certainly in a little bit of trouble. 58 for 3 and 184 runs behind, with 7 wickets in hand at 58 for 3. So quite a strong breeze blowing for the Australians. We join play now with the 2nd over being bowled. Alderman is coming into Gatting. There's no addition to that overnight score.
And what a good stroke. Exactly what Mike Gatting wanted. Nice half volley and very positive, beautiful off-turn.
Well, that's good play by Mike Gatting. There's one thing you don't want to do, is you should get bogged down completely. Attacking fields are going to be set. If you play normal strokes, you'll get full value for them.
Lawson from the pavilion end. Oh, dear, dear, dear. That worries me a little.
Well, it was a slack sort of thing to do. I mean, the ball's well wide of the leg stump, started to play it, and then went through with the bat with one hand and could just have caught up with it and got a little edge, and that really would have been a silly way to get out.
Very good delivery. Coming back down the hill, hitting Gatting on the thigh pad. Big shout, but sharp movement off the seam.
Yes, I think that's a good decision by the umpire, Nigel Plews. That ball really nipped back, and you could see that just hitting the top of Mike Gatting's right leg.
Terry Alderman, who took his 100th Test wicket when he had Graham Gooch LBW. Beautiful stroke played on the up, square of the ball.
There's the captain. Still a happy man, but would like an early wicket.
Geoff Marsh thought he'd got that. In fact, Gower was prepared to walk, and Marsh indicated no.
And this pretty sharp chance. Hit right in the middle of the bat, but Marsh is a brilliant gully. And he very, very nearly hung on to that. The ball going up in the air after he'd parried it away, bouncing out, and as he fell, he turned his hand over, and the ball went to grass.
And he was the only one who knew that. Four runs. And Gower certainly not prepared to forego his normal game. If a half volley is there, then the bat goes after it. Fine shot.
And this shot bringing up the 50 partnership. Noticeable that David Gower's moving his feet a little bit more today. That foot getting quite well down the pitch. And lovely follow through.
And he's given him. Gatting out. Well, he's had a look round, wandering away. Very disappointed in a jubilant Australian side. Mike Gatting can't believe it. Set himself to play a long innings, out for 22, and England now 84 for 4.
And really, it is so straight that he's just got to play. Came back up the hill a little, a lack of misjudgment, one that he's done time and time again.
New batsman now, Robin Smith. Slower ball. Well, that could well have been out. Steve Waugh it was.
And there's a fine piece of fielding this by Steve Waugh. Straight back. If he'd hit, it might have been very interesting. Get it better here. I reckon if he'd hit, he'd have been out.
A nicely timed shot. That'll race away, and it is full.
Lovely way to get off the mark.
And a change of bowling, change of tactics by Alan Border, bringing on Trevor Hones, the leg spinner, from the nursery end. That's well bowled, and he's got this famous Lord slope to help the leg spin, the ball which will leave the right-hander.
Yes, there's going to be a little bit of spin there for the leg spinner now. You can see that turn, and that's not a good shot to the leg spinner. Edge of the bat facing down the wicket.
There'll be runs off something, either pad, baton pad, or bat. Off nothing, in fact. 4 byes. And the 100 comes up for England. It's been a struggle, but 102 for 4 is the score.
Goes to Gower, and slow full toss, and Gower dispatches that beautifully through extra cover. That's his second 50 in the match, and prior to this match, David Gower had only got 1 score of over 50, and that was the first match of the season when he made over 200, so he's had a pretty lean time up to this test match.
And Curran, Michael Parkinson, Mary Parkinson as well, golfing fame. That's a good shot for 4. Very much the front foot player, Robin Smith. He was still coming forward at the start of that stroke.
The initial movement forward, but he is a fine cutter, and he gives it the whole treatment when he hits it.
Oh, good shot. Left everyone standing, bowler included.
Beautifully timed stroke this by David Gower.
Border is the fielder. .50 stand between Gower and Robin Smith. The partnership between Gower and Gatting was 56. Now this pair have brought up the half-century stand.
Jeff Lawson to bowl. There's the 150 for England. That'll be 4 runs. Ball just running away down the slope. That's his shot. Seventh 4 for Robin Smith. Well, I'm not sure how far away that was.
Well, that was very, very similar to Mike Gatting's dismissal. No shot played by Robin Smith there. And that was very, very close indeed. In fact, if that had just brushed the pad, that would probably have been LBW again. Very close to that off stump.
Huge excitement there. I think justifiably, because they look to be bat on that.
Yes, a little bit unlucky there for Terry Alderman, nearly doing him padding off, and then certainly a back pad, and that ball just lobbing over short leg there. So a bit of good fortune on 2 occasions there for Robin Smith.
Beautiful stroke. 50 for Robin Smith. And the 100 partnership between Smith and Gower.
And a fine innings by Robin Smith when needed. Off goes Merv. Crowd pleaser.
Looked like a chance.
Difficult to tell, and you can see the way David Gower drops his shoulder. Little outside edge, and so we can probably see from this as to whether it was a chance or not. Bisected them perfectly.
And that's gone straight through the man that slipped. Steve Waugh, it was travelling, I can tell you, but it was catchable. 200 up.
Well, you flash hard. And he certainly flashed at that. It nearly took Steve Waugh's head off. And the 200 comes up. We have a change in the attack. Terry Alderman at long last being rested and being replaced by Alan Border, Australian captain, who had one very good test match against the West Indies.
Interesting time too for him to come on, Tom, because it's captain to captain, and Gower's in the 90s, 91 not out. And there we go, big shout. Oh. But there's nothing like the eyeball-to-eyeball confrontation of captains. Beautiful shot. Gower's on 99. What a story. What a story to think that David Gower, so chastised by the media of the weekend, is now the man who's saving England.
The long hop outside the off stump. David Gower standing up straight and cracking that square on the offside.
He goes, and that's it. Oh, marvellous. What a story. David Gower rolls back all the venom of the press and of the media. And here's the man who was chastised by everybody, is now the man who's helping to save England.
And 20,000 people standing. Tremendous ovation for David Gower.
was Hughes.
Now, really, I think the umpire should say something. Law 42, fair and unfair play, is all about intimidation.
Yes, I certainly think Nigel was a little late actually in coming into that. The previous over there, at least 4 deliveries. Robin Smith's not played it too well, and you can understand Murphy was keeping going, bowling the short stuff as long as he's allowed to.
Just Gatting gone today. LBW playing no stroke to Alderman. And since then, this partnership worth 139 and priceless runs for England. Not just the runs, but the manner in which they've been scored, because it's put that man Border, well, not on the defensive yet, but the Gower 100 has certainly given England some sort of chance of making something out of the match. Oh, and that's out, and there it is. Hughes getting the wicket. And Gower's marvellous innings comes to an end with another hostile delivery from Hughes, which gets the catch at short leg. And that's Gower out for 106. And now England 223 for 5.
Well, Hughes has certainly got them all some problems, and David Gower there taking his head off, not looking at the ball, looking away from it. The ball only bounced about chest high. And you've got to really be able to play those down, but still a very, very fine innings by David Gower, getting a tremendous reception from this full house crowd at Lord's.
Well, a good finish to the session for Smith and England. One more ball to go, but a lovely 4 takes him into the 70s.
A fine innings from Robin Smith. Well, tea was taken, and the two teams then were presented to Her Majesty the Queen. Always a great moment for the two sides here at Lord's when that happens, the home side, and particularly for the touring team. A great day for them, one they'll remember for the rest of their lives. We join play now in the 4th over after the tea interval. Trevor Hones is the bowler from the nursery end. He's bowling to Jack Russell, and 5 runs have been added since the tea interval. Nicely stroked away. Even though he didn't quite time it, it's still too quick for the fielder, Terry Alderman. And England take the lead. An unavailing chase there for Jeff Lawson, an outside edge from Smith off Steve War's bowling.
250 up.
And on this pitch, it gets grazed and scratched pretty quickly, so crucial moments for England. Well, did that carry? It looks as though it might have done.
Well, disappointment for Steve Waugh here. A bit wide, shouldn't really be playing defensively, but that did carry. And at Steve Waugh's pace, the slips have stood quite well back. Disappointing that neither of them got a hand to that.
Well, that's a good shot. Much better. No wonder he's looking a bit miffed, because he could have had a wicket, and that would have repaid Alan Border's faith in giving him the new ball. That's the 50 partnership. The 3rd successive one for England in this innings, so a good recovery. By no means complete yet. And now he'll be partnered by Lawson. Steve Waugh having unluckily not got the wicket that he deserved. Oh, that might be out. It is. Tucking him up around leg stump, bat onto pad. Nice catch by Boone. And now England back in trouble again with Russell caught by Boone off the bowling of Lawson for 29, 274 for 6.
Oh, just a little unlucky there, Jack Russell. A little bit unfortunate when you get out like that, but he's played pretty well again. After heading late when he didn't play very well, he's played very well in both innings this area at Lords.
You see it again from a different angle. Didn't get all that far forward. Just that nick onto his pad, and then good catch by Boone going forward. John Embury, the new batsman. Alderman bowled him out in the first innings. But a little nick. And 4 runs.
And John Embury is one of those unorthodox players. That was a genuine leg glance, but he hits the ball in different places to most batsmen. Over covers no problem to him. Down to fine leg is no problem. So Border may have to rethink some of his field positions for Embury.
Yes, runs here. Well, it was no more than a push, but it got there before. And guess who's on the floor?
Well, that was a marvellous little piece of cricket there. Beautifully timed off his legs. And Merv Hughes chasing it up there. He did his little sliding tackle a bit early. He might have got a penalty for that.
Nearly took Jeff Lawson out as well. Oh, beautiful shot. 95.
Very nearly one of the best shots of the day. Front foot right down there. Beautifully played.
One more, that's 96 to Robin Smith. And the applause right around the ground for England's total of 300. Bowl him. A sad end to a great fight, but jubilation and joy for Australia, because the last of the recognised batsmen has been bowled by Terry Alderman. Robin Smith is out for 96. How did that ball get past? Because the front pad was well out there initially, then it withdrew a bit, and the ball pitched and moved a little bit away. That's Neil Foster. Neatly played. Well, Neil Foster's a good straight player, perfectly good shot.
Yes, orthodox leg glance, roll of the wrists, a very high-class shot. Off the middle of the bat, genuine leg glance.
That's out, I'm afraid. Terry Alderman is doing terrible damage out there now, and he traps Neil Foster. That fraction of a second before he could really get well out onto the front foot. And so the 8th wicket goes down now, 304.
And no doubt about this, Foster going half forward, having a little shove at it with his pad there, and now I reckon that would have hit middle stump.
More runs. Big cut off there by Dean Jones. It's a good chase by Jones, but the ball running away down that slope. Had the Australians taken all the chances today, they would be in an even better position than they are now. That'll be 4.
Well, a few have gone through those slips today. And another one there from John Embry. Never a catch. It bounced 3 or 4 yards past the bat, but in between the second and third slip for 4 runs.
Oh dear, it's the second one in the innings. Mike Gatting first, and then Paul Jarvis. This fella bowls so straight that it's difficult to see the benefit of padding up the way the LBW law is, devised specially for people who play with their pads instead of their bat. 8 more runs were added after that to take the final total up to 322 for 9, with Embry 21 and Dilley 4. A great fight back by England. Gower 106 and Robin Smith 96. Really outstanding innings, and Jack Russell played well once more for 29. The bowling for Australia, well, Alderman has dominated it again, 6 for 111 from 34 overs and 6 maidens. Lawson bowled extremely well today, 32 overs, 9 maidens, 2 for 89, and Hughes was hostile in his 22 overs, 1 for 40. The match situation at the close of play on the 4th evening, England 80 runs ahead with cloudy